years ago, the lions and tigers were kings of the jungle. And then one day they wound up in zoos. I suspect we're in the same trap.
Do you ever get lonely?
I only get depressed when I get sick. That's it. It's just not my...
Physically sick?
Yeah, when I'm physically sick. Other than that, no. No one bothers me. It's very peaceful.
What about the holidays?
What are holidays? Holidays are just some artifice somebody dreamed up.
Really never gets to you, seriously.
When I'm 48 hours from the street, I have to admit it's a little nervy. That's not depression, that's angst. That's when you know you're alive.
What about the height of your big life gamble?
Worth on paper at my peak, $95.5 million, including pseudo stock, Jupiter stock, and cash in the bank. I came here with $9 grand, and I sold Winston Churchill. I had a portrait of Winston Churchill. I sold that for $9 grand, and that got me started. I blew 5 of it learning how to play poker. If I'd only known.
I went like this. So I was trying to take it in.
We're at the world famous Johnny Taco's gym in Las Vegas, Nevada, the last gym of Sonny Liston. I've been on the road now for 13 years. I was on the apple farm. I was on the boat, the Tuna Heaven boat, for a year. I did 6 months in Malta, did a couple months in Central America. Spent a year and a half in Calacanis' pool house recuperating from Ethiopia. I did a year and a half in Lordville writing the first draft of NetBand Command, which is the basis of Cyership conceptually. I've done a year and a half in Las Vegas living the life. The first 12 months I played poker professionally, and for the last 4 months I've been boxing here at Johnny Taco's gym. Now for yesterday's sparring session with myself and the Flash here, retard, Asperger's, or autistic?
You asked me, I said you're a retard. You went down like a sack of potatoes.
I went down like a big sack of potatoes.
Like down?
Down, down. I fit in there for one simple reason. It's not because I know how to box. I fit in there because I show up in that gym 6 days a week and work out. Were you walking around the neighborhood? Lovely joint, huh? I'm pretty broke in Vegas and all of that. But, you know, sometimes you do a gut check on who you are, and it just seems normal and natural. It's part of what I'm doing. And, yeah. By the way, just for argument's sake, I'm very careful with money. Always have been. It's no accident I have no money. It's part of my process. Because if I'd had money, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, and I would have gotten me off course to what needs to be done. This place seems normal, but...
I was thinking, what the fuck's going on?
Oh, no, I don't even think about it. See this? See this right here? This is really this is a military knife, which I use to cut all of my kitchen stuff. I don't have a regular knife, but being in Las Vegas is very akin to the work that I'm pursuing, which is living on a cybership, virtual life combined with physical life. And it's sort of introducing the world to the advent of the singularity, the hive mind, if you will. People are no longer individuals, they are now part of a hive collective. Vegas is very much part of that process of understanding how that process works. Imagine a soundstage that has the bunkers from We Live in Public. That was sort of the 8 hours a day where you entertain yourself and sleep. But it was missing the other 16 hours. The modern version, the other 16 hours that the crew is on the Cyership, all they're really doing is communicating with people on the outside world. And it's sort of hierarchical because the people on the outside world are trying to get into the Cyership, so they virtually, from their home studios or mobile studios, are running their own television show or chat video shows and sending their best signals up to the Cyership, and then the Cyership distills it out, and the captain decides what goes to broadcast and what doesn't. On set, they make money because it's a production and people are viewing it. The people at home, there is currency. It's like Bitcoin currency, because in order for them to achieve their missions, they've got to earn capital within the environment of the Cyership. I've been living in hotels and motels and divey joints. You get into a hotel in Las Vegas, they don't give you a key anymore, you get a magnetic key. So sometimes you're short on money and you have to wonder whether your key is going to work anymore. It's the nuances and the details within the details that you start picking up. If you live in the Cyership, there's no home to go to. Here at the Siegel Suites, you're entitled to rewards if you stay long enough. So I got a $50 rewards card at Albertsons. This is bum stew. I learned the secret recipe from Alfredo Martinez. You got the eggs, you got the cabbage, you got the broccoli, a can of corn, 69 cents, a can of sweet peas, 69 cents, crushed peeled tomatoes. You can't get tomato sauce, it's got to be crushed peeled. The banana's 39 cents a pound, pretty good. You gotta know where to go. It says generic raisins for $4.49. I went for the whole $5 for this brand name.
Full on.
You know, sometimes it's good to have a brand. When your toilet paper's cheap and your oatmeal's generic, this was on sale for $3. This lasts me 2 weeks. The system can kick you out. If you're not worthy, somebody more worthy comes in and takes your place. I'm switching over to the $345 a month place. Same size, just in the art district of Las Vegas. This is $790. And they raised the rent $10. And I did it. If you look out here, I got my stratosphere. I'm on the stratosphere. Cyership, stratosphere. On the road, right? You don't want multiples of anything. The whole trick is bug out in 20 minutes and not miss anything. And that's the whole idea of the Cyership, that there's a pecking order, there's a Captain Kirk who's controlling the voyages in cyberspace. And the whole trick is, if you get on set, you've done something worthy. Today's parlance on YouTube, it's 1 million views. Or you've saved the world, or you're on a mission for the Cyership. If I like something on Facebook, I get nothing for it. I get a mini credit in there, psychic credit. Well, that's not a good deal. I want a bank account. When I spend my time working in the cyber world, I want to earn. I think that the audience is demanding that now. I'm in no man's land because they're still weirded out by the work. The venture capitalist guys, for example, take my meetings, and now I just walk in and say, I know you're not going to give me money, but what do you suggest? And they nod their head saying, we can't give you money. When the straight men don't work, so the next logical step for me is I'm hitting the television folk. I was at ITV yesterday. 2 terms come up. One is, it's a big idea, and I look at them and say, yeah, it's a big idea, so that means that you think about smaller ideas. They say multiple times, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Sometimes I walk into a meeting, they have no idea how I got there. President of a network. And I have to, it's like, well, whatever it is, I got here. It would be nice to have the love of my life and all of that, the usual. I'm not in that mode. I'm in Buddha monk style. You know what I boiled it down to, Andy? With my Truman Show girlfriend, Tanya, I burned out all of the loveless sex I'll ever need to have. I think that I was born to do what I'm doing, and that, even when I was 6, I've always had that guidance, that compass. If I'd done any of that for argument's sake, I couldn't have done great work with Tanya for We Live in Public. There's been temptations along the way, of course, and when I was wealthy, I was like really good looking. Somehow I knew I had to wind up in this spot for my work. Everybody wants their fame 15 minutes every day. It makes a lot more sense in 2013 than it did in 2000. And the notion that privacy is with us for very much longer is, day by day being eroded. Things that we would have considered George Orwellian unfathomable are now very fathomable. The NSA is just the tip of the iceberg. What the NSA is doing is just poorly executed versions of what the commercial people will do. Whatever the next Google or the next Facebook or the next Twitter. And it'll be 10 or 15 years before the pendulum swings back toward the re-sculpting and recontextualizing of what privacy is and should be. We live in public. It's amazing how accurate those 4 words are.
Internet, good or bad? Is it going to save us in the end? Or
It's
destroy
like,
us?
is TV good or bad? We're going into the hive. It's just evolution. Now, after 12 hard rounds, the winner is by unanimous decision, Andy the Slugger Timoner.